guys, I decided to make another video on selling a car to Carvana because as of today I have already sold my 2020 Widebody Charger to Carvana, and they forced me to do it, and let me tell you how. So sold the car to Carvana. So they've sent a truck to pick up. Said either today or no later than tomorrow. Hopefully, since it's sitting on the side of my road. That's what they do. Retail today's. So we got bigger things coming. Might be a red eye. TRX. I don't know. We'll see. It does kind of suck because I contemplated getting rid of it, but when you find out the money, you would have too. So you can see with my other video that probably, I want to say it was towards the end of October or so of 2019, I sold my 2017 Mustang GT to Carvana. Going into winter, I was actually losing my winter storage I had used for years, and they offer good money, a lot more than anybody else, and not too far off what I could get private selling it. So I sold it to them, and I got a video on that. That was kind of a process in its end, but in the end, it did all work out. A little frustrating for a while. So I bought this 2020 Scat pack, this wide body, indigo blue, beautiful car. Bought it in October of 2020. Had a lot of rebates on it. There was the Corona inventory, so it was affecting inventory big time. So there were some dealers actually selling over a sticker, which is nuts, especially for a Scat pack. But anyway, I wanted to buy a Hellcat, but just wasn't in the budget at the time. I didn't want to spend that kind of money. So a lot of people said Scat pack would be better for daily driving. So okay, so we bought it. Worked out a pretty good deal. I saw one pop in. I had been watching it, said in transit, and all of a sudden it said at the dealer. Called them, went right in there. I literally come in the night before, and spent all day working on them, but finally got it for the right price, and brought the car home. Drove it here and there, not too much, and then obviously in the winter it just sat. So we're really getting the itch for a red eye Charger now that they come out with the red eye, which I'm really not sure what I'm going to do, because the Charger's a fun car. It was great, but there's nothing like spectacular about the interior or anything like that. It's just kind of a dated, basic car, but still a great car. I still like it. So I just don't know if I spend that much on a Hellcat or a red eye Charger after owning the Scat pack, which is, looks wise pretty much identical, ride wise pretty much identical, obviously more power, but I come from drag racing, and so I've been in powerful vehicles before. So we'll see though, because I like the TRX. There's just a whole lot of things. So I knew that I wasn't keeping the Scat pack forever, but I don't know. I just got watching these videos from some of these other YouTubers, seeing how crazy the used car market is. My curiosity, every time I buy a car, I'm looking for another car within a week, and who knows, just own a million cars. So I decided to get on Carvana's site, and the number pops up. And I said, holy cow, that's essentially what we paid for the car, tax, title, license, everything. And I'm like, wow, man. So since I kind of want to buy something different, this is getting pretty much to the penny what we paid for the car. Every dime back, besides a little interest on the loan, So I set an appointment to sell it. My son, he's about 13 years old. He loves the Hellcats. He's more of a Challenger guy. But, I was afraid he'd be upset because he has fun with the car. Mind you, I've only put 1,500 miles on it. So we haven't driven it a whole lot because I bought it. We went in the winter up here in the Midwest. Cars don't fare very well in the snow. Much less you don't want to tear it up. So I set the appointment, but I was really belly aching about it, I was talking to my wife, and I'm like, I don't really want to sell it, I'm always wheeling and dealing on stuff, and it's like, so I'm just selling it because I'm going to get good money for it. Like, I don't know. And I was belly aching so much, and I'm like, I'm going to regret it when I sell it, that, I canceled the appointment. Actually, they had left a message that they were having trouble with, it was a nice Hellcat Challenger Widebody. They were having trouble finding a truck to when they come and pick it up with the truck and everything. They were having trouble finding, they were going to needed me to call back to schedule a different time because they weren't going to make it at that time. So I said, that's a sign. You know what? I just canceled the appointment. And then I had, half business, half pleasure. I had to go down to Florida. So we went down to Florida it ended up being a week. Wasn't supposed to be. Flights got canceled. We got stuck there a couple extra days. So we came home, and I don't remember why. Oh, I got an email from Carvana. So I just logged back onto the site, and it says, oh, your mileage is expired. It's good for 7 days. Enter your new mileage. Well, I think I drove the car once in the whole time. So I put the new mileage in, and kaboom. It rings up a number $2,900 more than previously when I was going to sell it before. So I screenshot a picture of that, and I sent it to my wife, and I said, they're really making it hard to not sell the car because this is literally almost $3,000 over, not $3,000 over what we paid for the car, but what we paid for the car, including tax, title, like every single penny. It's about $6,000, a little over $6,000 more than the actual purchase price of the car. And I said, well, you know what? This is dumb. I mean, I'm literally bought a brand new car and drove it for 6 months, even though I really didn't drive it much, and gonna get paid $3,000 to have owned it. This is dumb. I just need to do it. I mean, it's not a one-off vehicle. It's going to be worth $1 million someday. It's a great car, but so I scheduled the appointment, and so I scheduled the appointment. That was a Friday. The appointment, the earliest they could do was Monday, a Monday pickup. So I scheduled it for Friday, and because when I sold my Mustang, and you'll see that in that previous video, the first appointment I had with them, they never showed up, and that took playing on tag on the phone, trying to get a hold. So I decided to call their 800 number, which it said, oh, your wait's over an hour. I said, So I logged back onto the account, and it says that my offer had expired. I'm like, well, I have an appointment, but I can't access that in anything. I wanted to make sure the appointment was on there. Now it says the whole thing's expired. So I'm like, I don't know. It asked me to, verify information again. So I verify it all. And boom, it comes up with a number on the car that is about $1,600 less than the number I have for the appointment. And I'm like, wow, what the hell's going on here? You know, I'm like, now I'm not going to sell it because I'm not going backwards. It's, you know, I'm going to put $3 grand in my pocket. I'll go buy something else. I'll go find me a Hellcat. But, so, I try calling. I'm on the phone, wait time for over an hour, and it still keeps coming on saying, your wait time is estimated at over an hour. So I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm done. Then I remembered I had a voicemail from when they were going to come the first time, and they didn't have a truck or any way to come, and it was a number to the department, a direct number to the department that actually picks the car up. So I decided to call them. Got a guy, boom, first ring, picked right up. So I'm talking to him. He says, yeah, I see the number, and it's this. Boom, 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 boom. And I said, no, that's not what the appointment was set at. Da, 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 da. I said, I've got the email that confirms the price. I've got a screenshot that says it's good till the 23rd of April, and the appointment's sent for the 19th. So he says, well, send me all that. I'll talk to somebody I know in the right department. You know, super nice guy, very helpful. And so I said, okay, yeah. So I told my wife, I said, well, this ain't gonna go through because I thought it was a little too good to be true. You know, I mean, they're paying over retail for this car. You know, like, I mean, it's kind of nuts. But so he calls back. We're doing yard work. Calls back about 2 hours later, and he says, yeah, they'll honor that price. You know, I talked to the supervisor or whoever, so I'm just going to get everything changed in the computer, and we'll be set. I got to run in the bank here. Part 2 of this. I'll be just a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Had to go deposit some money. So, where was I? Oh, the guy is very helpful. He says, yeah, that was the number. Got it all taken care of. And we're on set to come on out. Okay, no problem. So, Monday rolls around, and it's noon. It's about 5 minutes to 12. Appointment was at 12. In good old Carvana fashion, I get a phone call. He just said, I'm running late. Says I'm about 52 minutes away. You know, I'm on my way. So, okay, no problem. I'll be here like 1. So I just decided to call the guy back and make sure, you know, hey, I got your message. Well, he hadn't even left yet. So, long story short, he leaves. He says, you know, you still want to do it or do you want to reschedule? And I said, no, I still want to do it. He says, okay, I'll be out there. It says like 52, 58 minutes. And I said, okie doke. We'll see you then. So, I'm waiting. About 1 o'clock, he shows up. And nice gentleman, you know. I don't know if it's because of the, you know, pandemic and all that, but I don't want to say standoffish. He wasn't really standoffish, but he's very by the book. You know, he explained to me, this is how I'm going to do it. I said, yeah, I sold a car to you before. I'm a little familiar. And he says, well, you know, we've changed our protocol a little bit. And I said, okay. So he explains to me that, you know, I'm going to take a look at the car, I'm going to go drive it, and then we'll go over the paperwork and all that. I said, okay. I said, well, I just want to make sure the paperwork is correct because, you know, there was some discrepancies. He says, well, I have to drive the car first. I have to verify. Oh, okay, dude, whatever. Go do whatever you got to do. So he does that. He gets back. He says, okay, here's this paperwork here. Here's the paperwork here. Sign this. You know, you got your power of attorney and, you know, your bill of sale, you know, all that kind of stuff, or your contract. And I said, yeah. I said, well, what? No, I'm sorry, we weren't at the contract yet. I said, yeah, I want to make sure the numbers are right on the purchase price and all that. There was a problem with that. They got it taken care of. So, of course, he pulls the papers out, and they have the lower number on them. I said, that figures. So he says, well, my tablet, though, says the number you're saying. And I said, yeah. And I'm going to actually make a video on releasing the numbers. Once, once everything is cleared, checks have cleared and all that kind of stuff, which that's maybe a whole separate issue. But I am going to release a video on that topic, the money-wise and stuff, and kind of what's going on with the used market. It's absolutely insane. But so he says, well, I want to make sure the check for you is right. And I said, yeah, that matters. And it was the right amount for the larger amount. And I said, okay, great, And he says, yeah, my tablet says the number you say, but I don't know why. And I said, well, they must have printed this stuff when that was off. And through all this, it's weird. The paperwork's off, and the paperwork was printed after the check because the check was printed 3 days prior. So it was before the number ever changed. So I'm confused, but whatever. So he says, okay, what I'm going to do is, once the paperwork's signed, he says, he says, I'm going to pull the car over here for it to be picked up. And I said, what do you mean to be picked up? And I said, well, here, let me pull it over here. It's in the grass. And he says, and I apologize, I'm going back. This is before he drove it. He was explaining this. And, or before I signed the paperwork, he was explaining it. Getting myself all messed up. And he said, I said, well, let me pull it over, and I'm going to pull it off the side of the road in my grass a little bit. I'll drive on the grass a little bit, but it can't be sitting in the road right there, And he said, well, once you sign the papers, you can't touch the vehicle. It is now Carvana's. And I go, well, I haven't signed the papers yet. Give me my keys. So I moved the car. So pull on there, carefully without tearing up my yard. So it was just kind of weird how, he wasn't going to let me get into my car again. And at this point, I hadn't signed no papers or nothing. It was just kind of like, look, dude, till you paid me the money, you don't own it. So it was just, I don't know, a little weird. But that's when he explains to me that there'll be a truck to come by and get it. And I said, when? And he said, today or tomorrow. And I said, okay, well, I'm kind of in a neighborhood that just can't have cars laying all over the place. A lot of the neighbors complain about things. I've already taken the plates off this car. He says, well, I'll put notification on the car that it's Carvana's. And I said, yeah, nobody around here cares whose it is. It's in the way, And he says, well, if it gets towed, that's essentially Carvana's problem. I go, yeah, I get it. It'd be nice if, I kind of had an idea. Well, the sticker he put on it said it was going to be towed within 24 to 72 hours, which, thank God, the guy actually literally showed up, I think, in 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours afterwards. But so, we signed all the paperwork, and then, I think I got a couple pictures of stuff of the car sitting there and him doing his thing around it. And then literally 2 to 3 hours, this jackass in a tow truck pulls up, just stops in the middle of the road, which I got a video that I can include in there, but you can't hear the sound because I'm in the house. He pulls the car out of the grass, doesn't tear up the yard, backs up, because now they're going to put the stinger on the back of the car and lift it up so the front end is hanging on the back, and I just think it's a bad idea with a wide body, but whatever. So he gets frustrated because he didn't back the car up to line it up and just guns it, just spins the tires, squeals the tires. And like I said, I live in an area where these people complain, especially since I've had loud cars. They complain about everything, and I'm like, man, that's 2 seconds from going out there. What good's it gonna do besides just getting into a yelling match with the guy? But it wasn't my car anymore. I mean, I'd be pissed if it was my car. You know, but still, you know, you're just driving that car like that. But it's still the fact that it's a beautiful car. It's in perfect shape. It's got 1,500 miles on it. I mean, you know. But, you know, and then I took off with it. And the funny thing is, like, I had to go to the bank here because this is one of the accounts that I use once in a while. And last night they got kind of like this automated thing. I just went and put the check from Carvana in there. And okay, yeah, you know, there'll be a wait or whatever. But I wanted to use the account for a few things. And I talked to my bank today, just asking them, you know, how long of a hold's on it. They're telling me I'm not going to be able to use that money till the end of the month, like a 10-day hold, 7 business day, not including today, even though it was deposited yesterday. And I'm like, what's the deal? You know, Carvana cuts checks off of a Wells Fargo account. So my bank was, or my credit union was actually nice and went and tried to get Wells Fargo to verify the check. They don't do that. And then my credit union says that her supervisor said it's going to take the full 10 days and none of it will be available because they've had problems with Carvana checks in the past. So that's what I said. There'll be another video about the dollar amounts of everything, you know, what I paid for the car. I should probably do a video of that. People kind of curious what people are paying for these, but so I just need to make sure everything clears first, or there might be another video about how messed up things are. So I don't know. I guess, you know, I made this video because if you got a car that's, I really don't know what they're paying for average things. I did my wife's car, and it seemed to be fair money, but it wasn't crazy like the Charger. So if you got a car that's desirable and you have any thought of selling it, I mean, it's a seller's market. Go to Carvana, and I'm not an advocate for them at all, trust me. It's all about money to me. So go to Carvana, punch in the info. You don't even have to give a phone number, and see what they come back at. And if you don't like that number, go in and edit the vehicle. You know, I mean, like wait a day or two. Go in and edit the vehicle. Make sure you didn't forget, I don't know, satellite radio or something like that, because it recalculates anytime you change something. So you go in there and change it to, I don't know, you forgot one thing or whatever. Well, I don't know how their algorithm works. I'm sure it pulls off the local auctions and compiles, you know, local auctions, national price. You know, I'm sure they got good technology that's telling them what to pay for this stuff. And it might go up. I mean, I learned that it went up $2,900 in less than 2 weeks. And then it also dropped in less than 24 hours. It dropped $1,500 when I went to edit it. So, you know, who knows? But if you're thinking about getting rid of the hot rod or anything desirable, check it out. Oh, and I also wanted to add, well, no, I'll put that when I put the actual numbers in there to compare Vroom and Carvana. All right, thanks for watching. I plan on making more videos, and it's going to be more than car content and stuff. So, hey, why not subscribe? Doesn't cost you nothing. Thank you. Comment and like it, and see you soon.